In this video today, I will be showing you what is under the bonnet of this car. Starting off in this location, you have your pressure cap and expansion tank. This pipe here is responsible for taking the expanded coolant to the expansion tank. This is your washer fluid cap. You also have the neck that takes the washer fluid to the washer fluid tank. This is your supply pipe that takes coolant from the expansion tank to the engine's coolant system. Moving back to this location, you have your electrical connector to control and power your offside daytime running light module, and you also have your electrical connector that is used to control and power your offside front turn signal bulb. Moving down to this location, you have your electrical connector to control and power the offside headlight, and other components are located in this location. You also have on the headlight module information about the headlight module, and last you have the washer fluid tank itself. Moving to the left, you have more information about the headlight, and last you have this adjuster here. This adjuster here is used by service personnel to adjust headlight aim. This component here is used as structural reinforcement. Moving down to this location, you have your offside front chassis rail, and you also have your offside engine mount and offside engine mount bracket. Inside this engine mount, you have rubber that is used to reduce vibrations from the powertrain from going into the chassis. This is your high pressure and low pressure air conditioning refrigerant pipes. You also have your dust cover for your high pressure air conditioning recharge point. And moving up to this location, you have your low pressure air conditioning recharge point dust cover. Moving the camera to the offside rear of the engine compartment, you can see the side of the air filter box, sound deadening on the bulkhead, one of your air conditioning refrigerant pressure sensors, and other components are located in this location. Moving more forward in the car, you have your fuel supply pipe that supplies the high pressure fuel pump with fuel. You also have your pipe here that connects to another pipe that leads to your air-to-air intercooler outlet. And moving down to this location, you have your differential pressure sensor. In this engine, you not only have a catalytic converter, but you also have a petrol particulate filter. In this engine, the auxiliary belt system consists of your alternator pulley, your air conditioning compressor pulley, your tensioner pulley, and last you have your crankshaft auxiliary belt pulley. This is responsible for driving the auxiliary belt system. Please note that this engine has two auxiliary belt systems. The second one is used to drive your mechanically driven water pump. Moving to the center, you have your oil filler cap, and other components are located in this location. Now, if you were to follow this pipe, it would lead to the outlet of the turbocharger compressor housing. So underneath this heat shielding, you have your turbocharger. This is your pre-cat O2 sensor. This sensor is used by the engine control unit to measure the engine's air-fuel ratio. And last, you have your engine oil dipstick and dipstick tube. Moving down to this location, you have your electrical connector for the exhaust variable valve timing system solenoid. Moving to the right, you can see the cooling fan shroud and cooling fan electric motor. This cover is used to improve thermal efficiency of the 12-volt battery. You also have your cover that covers your positive post, and other components are located in this location. To the right of the cover that covers your 12-volt battery, you have your engine control unit and protective cover that prevents contact. Moving down to this location, you have one of your big electrical connectors and a series of wires that goes from the big electrical connector in question. To the right of the engine control unit, you have one of your power distribution center's box lids. This is your air intake. This will draw air from the front of the car and take it to this pipe here, which will then lead to the air filter box. Then it will go through this pipe here that leads to the inlet of the turbocharger compressor housing inlet. With the engine cover removed, you can see the 3 coil packs, 1, 2, and 3. You also have your high pressure fuel rail with pressure sensor. You also have your fuel supply pipe that I mentioned earlier that leads to your high pressure fuel pump. And last, you have your fuel pressure regulator on the pump. One thing I forgot to mention is you also have your supply pipe that supplies the high pressure fuel rail with fuel. Now that fuel is from the high pressure fuel pump. These are your 3 electrical connectors, 1, 2, and 3 for each high pressure fuel injector. So you have an electrical connector for 1 fuel injector each. In this location, you have one of your engine crane hook attachment locations. Located below the positive crankcase ventilation pipe that I mentioned earlier, you have your vacuum pump. Two things I forgot to mention is you also have your electrical connector for the camshaft position sensor for the inlet camshaft, and the electrical connector for the camshaft position sensor for the exhaust camshaft. This component here is the thermostat housing. Located behind the 12-volt battery, you have your vacuum brake booster. This vacuum brake booster is used to provide power assistance in braking the car. With the camera positioned in this location, you can see the brake fluid cap and reservoir tank. And with the camera positioned down in this location, you can see our variable valve timing solenoid for the intake camshaft variable valve timing system. And you also have the throttle body power electronics. Moving down to this location, you can see our electric power steering motor. This motor is used to provide power assistance in steering the car. Moving the camera to this location, you can see the offside steering rack, track rod boot, the steering rack, and other components. Located at the bottom of the engine compartment, you can see quite a few different components here. For example, you have your electrical connector for the air conditioning compressor. You also have the spin-on style oil filter, the oil sump, the engine oil cooler, and last you have your other O2 sensor. With the camera looking up in this location, you can see quite a few different components here. For example, you have your heat shielding that covers your petrol particulate filter. And moving the camera to the right and located just in front of the gearbox, you have your ABS modulator. Now you can tell that this is the ABS modulator because you can see the pump and you can see several brake lines that goes to and from the ABS modulator. Moving the camera to this location again, you can see the gearbox clutch housing, clutch release fork semi-cylinder, supply line from the clutch release fork master cylinder to clutch semi-cylinder, and last you have your near side front chassis rail and near side front wheel well liner. Thank you very much for watching my video and goodbye.